Well, 2024, he won the South Dakota State as well as track championships at Jefferson International Speedway and Wagner Speedway in South Dakota in Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stock competition. We're talking about Kaylb Brunssen, our next guest here on the Beyond the Flags podcast, talking about his amazing 15-win 2024 season, along with his sensational rise and start to racing. Also, he talks about where he's from, the world's ice cream capital, Le Mars, Iowa. That's coming up next. But before we get to the interview, make sure wherever you're listening or watching from, you hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Well, representing the Hawkeye state of Iowa in the Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stocks, the 00K from Le Mars, Iowa, it's Kaylb Brunssen. Kaylb, great to have you on the Beyond the Flags podcast. I know that we talked about getting together before Super Nationals and then getting together at well, you know how Super Nationals is. It's hectic and crazy and everything like that. But finally, hey, we've been able to put this interview together, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's actually good to get on here. My buddy Nathan did this, and he told me he had some fun, so I'm stoked. I'm excited. So, yeah.
Well, he had a great 2024 season. You had a good 2024 season as well. You racked up a lot of wins, 15 victories over the course of the season. And, you know, the Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stock division is competitive. It seems like wherever it's at, especially where you race on a weekly basis, whether it's in Western Iowa or, of course, the tri-state area, I guess, I don't know what it's technically called, but you know, the Interstate Speedway, and you've got Jefferson International Speedway and Wagner Speedway. There's some pretty tough competition in the southeast part of South Dakota.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that are good drivers everywhere. I mean, Park and Interstate, that's kind of local region. Wagner's kind of out there, but we got like people like Matt and all them out there. Those guys are pretty quick. They come support us, so we figured we'd just go support them. And, yeah, we got a lot of competition. I mean, I can't complain. I would like to run in the Iowa area more, but it's just our tracks are so close right now. And then it's like, I'd rather go race with these guys. I became friends with these guys, and honestly, I can't complain. These guys they're smooth, they're fast. I mean, I wouldn't say there's no competition. There's a lot everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is. So that's really all I got. I mean,
well,
yeah.
And I was just going to say, what's really cool about, you talk about Wagner, Interstate, Park Jeff, is especially this year, Park Jeff racing on Thursday nights primarily, and then Interstate on Sundays and Wagner's on Saturday, makes it really easy to compete for a Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stock National Championship or a state title, or even a B&B Racing Chassis Northern Region title if you wanted to. It gets a lot of racing in a short period of time to where we're almost racing all week long.
Yeah, we'll run Thursday. We'll go to Park, which it's like 30 minutes from my house, and then we'll take Friday as like an off day. Get the car ready for Saturday for Wagner. We'll change gear, get it all ready. I mean, it's kind of convenient. It was nice. The only problem is, I mean, Wagner's kind of out there. It's like a couple hours away, but I mean, I would travel there if they open again, but who knows on their thing. But I mean, I had fun running 3 nights a week. I figured it was nice having an off day before we do, like, instead of 3 nights in a row, we had that off day, and it was nice. We could look over the car, make sure it was good, and then go hit it for another 2 nights.
Well, and you know, it really seemed to just shine, you know, big events where there were some big hitters. We were talking off the air about the Dave Riley Memorial at Interstate, that you won that race last year, and you were telling me it's a pretty big hobby stock race, probably one of the biggest in South Dakota, and it kind of bounces back from Park Jeff to Interstate. You won it at Park Jeff last year and had a battle with a really fast cat in that area that primarily Iowa, but you know, wherever he gets out of the central Iowa area, he's fast, and that being Mike Smith, and able to go toe-to-toe with a guy that was basically in a 3-way points tie for the national title at the end of the season.
Yeah, Mikey's fast. I mean, I became really good buddies with him over the year of 2024. I wasn't really close with him, but I've been kind of following him, watching him, and finally we got to race against each other in Spencer a couple years ago. and we started talking. And I mean, he's a good kid. He'll help you. I'll help him. It's racing with him is it's kind of a blast. I mean, you got the speed to beat him, but that kid is smooth everywhere he goes. And beating him, I mean, my adrenaline was pumping. I knew he was there at all times. I could see him. He'd poke a nose. I'd poke a nose to him. And it was always door to door with him. I've never had a problem with him. But I wish there was a way that I could like follow him around and stuff. But the Dave Riley race, it is fun. I encourage more hobby guys to show up. We average, I think last year we had 50 cars. This year we had around 60 hobby stock show up for that event. So, I mean, it's a good event. I mean, come support the track and put on a great event that Chase Riley does for his dad. We all miss him over here. He was a good mentor to everybody. So having people like that come over and race with us is kind of cool in my opinion. So.
Well, and what was cool for you this season when everything was tallied up, we talked about, the 15 wins. No doubt, the South Dakota Fall Nationals, that was a big deal where it brought about some tough competition, but then winning the state title for the state of South Dakota, and then Jefferson International Speedway able to win the track title there as well as Interstate. I mean, that's got to feel like a huge accomplishment for your tenure in this sport. To do it at such a young age has got to feel awesome.
It's great. I mean, I had a good mentor growing up. My dad always told me if I can learn how to build a race car from the ground up, he'd put me in one. And then turned 16, and he was ready to stop doing what he was doing out of sport my class. He raced for 20-something years. And we started off, we won 3 our first year, and then it kind of just grew from there. I didn't think we'd be winning track titles and state championships right now, but we're here, and I got to thank him a lot. He's helped me through everything and showed me the ins and outs of stuff. I probably wouldn't be a race car driver if I didn't have him. So, I mean, we've came a long way. I got to thank all my crew guys too. They're in it for the long run. They're always at their house. They're always working on it. They show up week in, week out. They bust their ass for me, and I do the same in return on the track. So, I mean, you give a little, you take a little, and I mean, you can find a bunch of buddies out there. They'll do it with you. And I met some good people. They come and help now. So winning a title at 21 and the 2-track title state, I mean, it's kind of exciting, but I mean, anybody can do it if you put your mind to it, in my opinion.
Well, and it's a big dedication. You guys raced a little bit shy of 44 nights made 44 features in a Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stock. That's a lot of racing, but the numbers you were able to generate with, we talked about the 15 wins and things like that. Talking about this year specific, how much did it feel like a grind for you or was it just seem like naturally like, man, we're just running good. This is fun. Like we show up, we're not like boasting arrogance, but it's like, man, this is great. Seems like we can't do anything wrong. I'm sure it had its periods of challenges because it always seems to.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like a hoax at first, but I lost a family member earlier in the year before the race started, and we kind of felt like he was looking down on us, and he knew it was our year, so we kind of based it off that. And I mean, once we won those first like 4 or 5, we knew we had to keep going. I mean, the dedication it takes, it's a struggle, but if you're really determined to do it, you can make it happen. But we know that he was looking down on us, and it was our time to shine, and we finally got it. Like, who knows what next year's going to bring. I mean, anything can happen, but yeah, it was kind of a challenge. I mean, we'd always make changes, make sure something was right, always look over the car. It's not like, oh, hey, put it back in the garage, we'll go next week. You got to make sure everything's good, everything's right. We've had a couple of challenges where we didn't make the feature. Well, we made the feature, but we DNF, which it takes a toll on you, and you gotta learn from it. You gotta work on it, and you just gotta improve on your next night. So we were looking at points. We were calculating every week and seeing what we were coming out to be. And then once we started getting closer towards the end of the year, we started looking and pay attention and make sure we got at least some top 5s in to make it stay in front of state and keep our track points. So it's tough, but I mean, it's mentally tough. So you got to be strong and make sure you know what you're going to get. So.
Well, we talked about 2024 a lot, but for you as Kaylb Brunssen, the driver, obviously talking about your dad racing, tell me about kind of your early memories of being around racing, being around the cars, and then what led to you making the decision, or how did it become, I'm going to be a race car driver?
So the kind of whole story was, I've got a brother, and he was always out in the garage with us, and it was kind of like a me and dad thing. I always be out in the garage. We used to build bodies together and like build dashes for a sport mod. And then I started helping him in the pits, and I was kind of committed, but I didn't know for sure if I wanted to race. I kind of just wanted to help out. And then we started racing more, and I thought my dad was like an idol. I thought he was something big, which he is. Everybody knows that man. He's well known around here, but we started talking when I was 14, 15. And that's when we really started hitting big shows, started going racing more. And, I don't really know how I got into one. It was kind of just like, he posted his car for sale. He said he was done. And all of a sudden we sold the car that day, and then we had the money to go get a car. Well, we were going to Sioux City to eat, and a guy called us and said, come look at this car. Well, eventually that night we ended up with a hobby stock in our garage. So I'm like, all right, so this is really happening. So I guess I'm dedicated. So then we started putting it together, and we really got into it. And then now we're here. So, I mean, at like age 13, 14, I was kind of ready to be in one, but I didn't know for sure. So that's kind of basically how it all started.
For sure. And the entrance was straight into a hobby stock?
Yep. The only thing, so I started off in a hobby, and then I'll be going in on year number 6. And then I drove a couple cars. I drove a modified, I drove a stock car. I drove a compact this year. That was fun. But we're really debating on seeing how long we're going to stay in this hobby stock. We want to move up, but the cost of everything is outrageous right now. But
yeah, I was going to ask it if there was obviously there's interest, but who knows? Somebody may be listening, or there may be eyes on you of somebody that might be a marketing partner, a sponsorship to make all that possible. If you were to make a move, would it be Sunoco IMCA stock car, or maybe a Friesen Performance IMCA modified?
Honestly, I'm not really into the open wheel type. I mean, I dropped 1 year. I won 2 season openers a couple years ago, and my black Harris we just bought it, and I kind of wanted to try the sport mod because we got another one from a good buddy, Rick. He got us one for my dad, and then my dad raced that, and then I tried it. I don't really like the open wheel. I kind of like the fenders where I can see my bumper, but I would definitely do a stock car if I could.
Sure. Well, I was going to say Interstate has got some pretty fast cats that race there on the weekly. I mean, Mike Nichols was definitely a terror when he's there. And then Adam Barker isn't too shabby of a cat either in the stock car class.
Travis is he's a good guy. His son actually sponsors me. Landon's been a good help this year with his detailing. He details my truck. He'll do my trailer. And that man works, and so does his dad. Those guys are good guys. Like Jason Ward, Ryan Harris, and all those guys. It'd be an honor to race with them. But Mike Nichols would be definitely an honor to race with.
Yeah. Travis Barker. I got Adam Goff mixed up. The same. It's almost like they're, wouldn't say identical cars, but the number style and the 30 and all that is the same. So that kind of
now that you say that, yeah, they are the same, aren't they?
Oh gosh, yeah. I was at the Dakota Mod Tour, and I think Adam came down for a couple of shows, and they raced against each other, and they raced against each other during Super Nationals, and it was just, yeah, it's one of those things. So I wasn't saying, but I don't think I'd say Travis Goff but yeah. Are you looking to find that adrenaline rush, but you can't because you're not at the racetrack? Well, check out the IMCA TV Replay subscription library to have access to thousands of hours of racing for just $24.99 a month. Relive all the moments of the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's at Boone Speedway, the Harris Clash at Deer Creek Speedway in Spring Valley, Minnesota, the IMCA TV Winter Nationals at Cocopah Speedway in Somerton, Arizona, Florida's Clash on the Coast, and dozens of Speedway Motors IMCA weekly racing program racetracks from across the nation, as well as the IMCA TV Dirtcast podcast. Plus, 25% of that $24.99 monthly fee goes towards the Drivers Point Fund and is a great way to help out your local racers. In 2023, over $97,000 was paid out to IMCA drivers directly at over 50 racetracks across the country. Please note that live broadcasts are not part of a replay subscription. That's IMCA TV. IMCA TV, where America comes to watch racing. 00K. Why that for a number selection?
So my dad was always 00X. Well, when he first started, I don't think he was actually 00X. I think he was like 21 or something. And well, he started off with 00X, so I kind of wanted to keep it within range of close to my dad's, but I didn't want the X. And I kind of was just like, you know what, I'm just going to put a K for my first name and kind of make it easy for everybody to read, but we still have that 00 in that he's been running. So we talked about it. We were going to do X, and then I was like, well, let's just do a K. And they agreed on it, so that's just what stuck.
And no knowledge how the 00 thing got started for your dad?
I have no idea. I think so he started with 00 because, you know, nobody really does 00. And then he said he was matched with somebody with a 00 at Boone like a long time ago. And then he kind of just threw on a duct tape X. Well, then ever since that, they just started throwing an X on it. So he's always 00X. That's the story I've heard.
Okay. Well, you're from Lamars, Iowa. For people that have never been there, what are some cool things? Are there some great places to eat or some sights to see when it's vacation season around there?
The only thing you really can do around here, we're the ice cream capital of the world over here. So
okay,
I mean, we got some pretty good ice cream. The ice cream parlor is always open, no matter what. It'll be 10 below, and the ice cream parlor will be open. I recommend you go there. That's a good place to get some ice cream.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to work on the Advantage TV guys to get me out there for either Midwest Madness Tour or some big event, either on the west side of Iowa or you know, Sioux City area. So I will have to have them make a special trip to Lamar's to go to the ice cream parlor because I like ice cream.
That ice cream is pretty good. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, and for you, when you're not working on race cars, is there fun recreational stuff to do for people that have never been there, or any points of interest?
We have a campground. I mean, that's a good place to like chillax. We got a pond there, and then we got golf course. We got a bunch of stuff, but it's not like Sioux City where you can go do like, you can go shopping at a mall, or you can go out to eat like B-dubs or something. We got like a P's, but that's about it. We're a really small town.
Sure.
I don't even know how many people are here, but I mean, it's big enough, but we don't have much. So normally you could drive 30 minutes, go to Sioux City and go do all your fun there. You can go to Sioux Center, go to the pool, indoor pool. They got skating rinks up there. So that's normally what we do, but normally it's garage 24/7 looking at what's next and what's this and what's that. So
nothing wrong with small town living. My town is just above 10,000 people, but we live, you know, half an hour away from a major city, Eugene, and you know, there's a university there and all sorts of commercial stuff and fun things to do and things like that. It's nice to kind of be close to a city, but also not living in a city. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's quiet over here. That's a good thing.
Yes, for sure. Plans for you guys next year? Have you penciled everything down as far as what you'd like to do? Kind of stick to what you did last year, or going to be maybe going to some specials at some other tracks?
I know we're in the talks right now. I'm kind of going to venture off by myself. We're in the process of building my dad a brand new home built car from right there in chassis with Steve Fontenot. He's been helping us with that. So we're going to build my dad a new car. he's going to race local, and then I think I'm going to hit like Beatrice and Eagle in the early months. And then I heard Spencer is going to have a $5,000 to win show for hobbies. We're going to hit that. I don't know as of right now, but I know I plan on going out of town sometimes, but then still race a couple local races for our sponsors and fans that we have over here. So,
okay. Well, I looked it up while you were giving that answer. 10,571 according to the 2020 census, Lamar's. So, hey, we're right about the same, the same distance from a big city and right about the same population.
heck yeah.
There we go. Yes. And it does say world's largest producer of ice cream novelties in one location. So you weren't lying.
No, we're the ice cream capital of the world. You want some good ice cream? I suggest you travel out here and get some.
What is your favorite flavor? What flavor do you recommend?
Honestly, everybody's just gonna give me crap for it, but it's called Scooper Hero.
Scooper
but
Hero?
Basically, it's basically just vanilla ice cream with coloring. That's it. That's all it is.
With what in it?
It's just got like food coloring in it. Like It's just changed colors, but it's still vanilla, like straight vanilla ice cream.
Okay. All right. Hey, hate the game, don't hate the player. So
yeah, exactly.
You mentioned sponsors and supporters, people that you want to thank and people that you want to acknowledge that have made all this possible, because we talked about it and you said it's 24/7 in the garage, making sure these cars are ready and fast as possible. And, the easiest thing to do sometimes on those long summer nights is just to kind of take the easy route, but that isn't an option when you're wanting to have peak performance all the time.
Yeah, I got to thank my dad and my mom. I'm kind of the rambunctious type. I'm always on the go, always wanting to go racing. I got to thank those guys a lot. They dropped their heart and soul into my racing program, and I wouldn't be racing as much without those guys. And then I got to thank all my sponsors, Sioux Glass. We got a couple new ones. We got Williams Motorsports, Landauer Racing, the train station. Those guys are going to hop on board for this year. My uncle Doug with Bubba's Bucks. He's been a help ever since I started. He's the heart and soul of everything with my dad. So, I also got Dylan Vandertop with 3D prints. He makes some really good 3D print race cars. If you want some, go order from him. He's got a Facebook page and everything. Landon Barker, he's all his detail and stuff. Stokes Welding, Flanders Pub, Elite Industrial. Sorry for the language, but that's what the name is. It's the Pissing Duck. That's my uncle. He's got a bar. He helps out a lot. So, and then Lee Hudepolt. That's my sister-in-law's dad. He runs a realtor business. He's been a big help lately too. So I got to thank all those guys, family for letting me do what I love doing, and all our fans, sponsors, and basically all those guys. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time for this interview and getting a chance to know you better. For people that want to follow along for your schedule, your racing results, or maybe they want to support you, if you have any sort of apparel run like t-shirts or sweatshirts, is there a good social media outlet or a website that folks can go to follow along?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. You can follow me personally, or you can follow my racing page, which is just my first and last name, Kaylb Brunssen Racing. We will be doing a shirt order, and I will be doing like a bunch of beanies and hats. I do all those kind of separately, which is a pre-order, but we will have shirts next year. So if you want to get on one and get one, just follow the racing page and stuff, and we can get you in there, and then we can get all them written down and ordered and processed and everything for them.
Awesome. Sounds wonderful. Well, I hope the holiday season goes great for you, and you guys have a happy new year, and hopefully bump into you at a racetrack here really soon, Kaylb. I really enjoyed this talk.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good New Year's.
Well, race fans, that does it for this interview. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you continue to enjoy these upcoming interviews. We appreciate it if you would like and subscribe wherever you're listening, whether it's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever it's at. Give us a like and give us a subscription so that we can deliver more of these great interviews to you for your listening pleasure. In the meantime, wherever we're at, wherever you're listening, we hope you have a great rest of your day and a pleasant evening, and we will see you soon here at Highside Racing Promotions.